All right, welcome kings and queens. Today we are talking Ariane Curry, Martell Holt, and Sheree Whitfield. Y'all, Ariane Curry got caught slipping. Oh yes, Miss I Know Everything. The original Straight No Chaser released audio recordings of she and Ariane talking. And listen, Ariane was visibly upset that she had no idea that Martell and Sheree were a thing. And I know y'all are saying, "Oh, it's business." I told y'all months ago that they were a thing. Now, it may be business now, but go back and look at my videos. Go back and look at my videos. And I shared this information months ago. I said that Martell and Sheree did have a thing. However, I believe he was juggling the both of them. And I believe he had every intention in making Sheree the replacement for Melody if he could. But he wasn't sure how to deal with Ariane. I also said as a result, he probably lied and told Ariane that it was a business situation. Sheree was under the impression that he was no longer messing with Ariane, but I'm not going to recap all of that. But the point is, it may be a business thing now because all of it is on the table, but it was not a business thing when they went to New York and when they went public. And when he fed her that cupcake, I could see the look in her eyes. And I knew in that moment, not only had they been intimate, but Sheree was smitten with the likes of a Martell Holt. However, in my opinion, I still believe that Martell was juggling multiple women, including Ariane, which is why we saw the reaction, y'all. That was a raging reaction. Because for once, she realized she was getting played like he had did to Melody. She thought she had reached this elevated status. And I think when she saw him out with when she saw Martell out with Sheree, reality set in. Yeah, girl, you getting cheated on too. You thought that you were something special, and you quickly learned that old Marty Mar is loyal to no one but himself. And I believe that he did his best to pass it off as business. He and Sheree's relationship, not only with Ariane, to tell Ariane that it was business, but also the likes of a Belinda, right? Somewhere in my mind, Sheree caught on and probably made adjustments as a woman and fell back, but still remain entangled. Okay? What are your thoughts? Because even though she adjusted, I don't feel like she adjusted soon enough. We can see that in her reaction by the way she defends Martell. And she goes hard in the paint behind Martell, honey. And she's inserted Martell in her family photo. So I think Sheree got tripped up. I sure do. I think she's trying to edge her way out, but that may be a task, a difficult emotional task for her, in my opinion. Y'all, Sheree already has feelings for this man, but let's talk about it. For those of you that are tuned in, or if you're new to the channel, welcome to the palace. I am Queen Shiba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television, but most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience.
Subscribe now.
All right, so we're about to get into my recap of the conversation between Ariane and the original Straight No Chaser. And let me put a disclaimer out. Y'all, there may be some use of profanity here. So if you have sensitive ears, if you've become accustomed to me delivering in a certain capacity, this may not be for you today. I just wanted to put that out there to give you an opportunity to check out if you need to. But let's just jump in. What are your thoughts? What were your reaction last week when you heard the audio of Miss Ariane? Because I have a lot of thoughts about this. Ariane, I'm sorry to break it to you, beloved, but you are a tool. You were a tool in Martell's marriage. You were a tool for his storyline. And let me place a hard emphasis on his storyline. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let me say it again. His storyline. Because somewhere along the lines, Martell has finessed you to believe that the others needed you just as much as he did, and that you have made this show a success. And girl, If you believe that, you are batshit crazy. If you believe that, I think you do, and I'm starting to believe that you may be one fry short of a Happy Meal. I'm starting to believe, Ariane, that there may be some challenges mentally with you, because how can you sit back and tell yourself that because of you, Love and Marriage Huntsville has been successful, the #1 show on OWN, and had it not been for you, no one, the cast, the producers, OWN network would be where they are. Y'all, if that's not a clear indication that something's off, I don't know what is. No one else needs you. No one else cares for you. Let me say it very clearly. No one else needs you for their storyline, with the exception of Martell. No one else cares about you. Ain't nobody checking for you, and you didn't make anybody's show. You didn't make anybody famous. And as a matter of fact, you are a non-factor. You are no different than any other girl that has had a baby by a married man. And I really need you to digest that, Ariane, and marinate in that. Folks that do tune into you and watch you go live, they do so to watch you self-sabotage. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you what your friends should have told you and what your family members should have told you. Don't you ever open your mouth again or repeat again that you feel like because of you, the show is doing well. Okay? Don't say that again out loud, because Martell got you out here looking like a full-blown crackhead that's addicted to him. Martell is your crack. Martell is your kryptonite. And you look awful. You sound awful in these interviews. And I don't know if you were like that prior to meeting him. I'm somewhat, in my opinion, I have somewhat of secondhand embarrassment for this girl to hear how this woman speaks behind the scenes and this grandiose outlook that she has about herself, y'all, because she had a baby with a married man. Child, if this ain't crazy, I don't know what is. Ariane, where are your people? Because that's going to tell me a lot. Where are your people? That is everything. Has anyone not thought to minister to the brokenness and the bitterness in this girl's spirit, y'all? This ain't normal. Like, this is serious, in my opinion, because every time we listen to this woman talk, she seems to be deteriorating rapidly, in my opinion. She has grandiose thoughts of who she wishes she could be. This lady talked about Martell should pick up her child 7 days on, 7 days off, like he picks up his other 4 kids. Girl, never. Melody was a wife. What makes you think that you should have access and the same privileges of a wife? This girl actually thinks that the same level of treatment that Melody receives, that she should have access to. She's obsessed with Melody Sheree. She's obsessed with Sheree. She seems to know a lot about both women. She says, oh yeah, girl, we read the blogs just like everybody else. It's giving stalker. It's giving obsession with notoriety and fame. It's giving obsession with Sheree. But even worse, check this out. Martell has managed somehow, some way to make this girl look worse than he does. Now, when you listen to those audio tapes, it looks like she's the one that's trying to ruin him. She's the one that's batshit crazy, releasing emails saying, I got video footage on my Ring camera. And what did she say? I'm going to call him out. For what? You knew what time it was when you signed on the dotted line to be a mistress. Oh, you thought you was different? And we've already gone over this entire song and dance before. But because he's pulling a you, He's pulling the same shit on you that he pulled on Melody. Now you want to run to the press. Oh no, honey, I'm going to need you to sit back and take that L. I'm going to need you to sit back and take that karma. That's the same that he did to Melody, and you laughed and kikied and boo and all of that. You remember? With your eyes closed. So open your eyes and take that L. And then she went after Sheree and talked about Sheree being old and da-da-da-da-da. Girl, accomplished, wonderful, beautiful. You could never, ever, and I'm not talking about a physical standpoint or aesthetics or attraction. You could never, if you wanted to, reach the level, put in the amount of effort of a Sheree or a Melody, because that's not your DNA. But where are your people? Okay? Because there seems to be more to this than meets the eye. And if Martell, or if she doesn't walk away, y'all, this is going to be real dangerous. We've already seen the alleged results of the fist fight that they had. Remember when they allegedly went to jail? We saw all of the scratches and the marks on his arms. We saw the puffiness of her face when she jumped on live that Saturday morning, attempting to tell us that nothing had happened. Yeah. You can't keep sleeping with Martell and thinks that he owes you loyalty. What loyalty? The day you signed up to destroy Melody's family, loyalty went out the door. Everything that you're now faced with is your karma. Everything that you're now faced with is your karma. My thing is, why try to throw him under the bus? You knew what it was. You mad now. Yeah, you mad. And the crazy part about it, everything that this girl mentioned, this woman mentioned, that he does for her is not valuable. It had everything to do with sex, sexual encounters, as if she's an escort or a prostitute. If that's not crazy, I don't know what it is. Okay? When it comes to Martell Holt, Ariane remains in a constant state of panic behind this man. There's always a heightened state. At this point, it's full on. It's giving full on for my man, for my man. This girl stalked this man the entire weekend that he was in New York with Sheree. Y'all, just like she stalked Melody. While Melody was married to Martell. And that's what I'm telling y'all. Listen. The curtains have been pulled back. We are really seeing this girl for what she is. This girl's a stalker. It ain't going to be easy to get rid of her. Because I think now she realizes, yeah, you ruined your life. You broke that family apart. You ruined your life because Martell sold you a dream. And the reality is you lost everything, including your dog, behind this man. Baby, can't no right come from doing wrong. Can't no right come from doing wrong. Martell being with Sheree that weekend in New York sent this girl into a tailspin because in that moment she knew it wasn't business. Let's just talk, ladies. I know we like to say, oh, Martell is fake, it's fake. At some point it wasn't. I mean, let's just call a thing a thing. At some point it wasn't. We know that, and she knows that from her reaction. She know him well enough to know when something is business. Now, he tried to tell her that after he had a good old time that weekend. And the following weekend, also when he went to Sonia's, you remember he went to Ross's birthday party? Yeah. And that bothered her, that she was being now cheated on. I'm going to say this. In my opinion, I believe Martell and Ariane now have a disdain for each other. Okay? And if they do not, either one of them move on quickly and never look back, somebody's going to get hurt. There's no love here, y'all. This is just a ball of resentment. She wants to be on the level of a Melody Sheree and Sheree. And what you've failed to realize, Ariane, is that you are a Miami girl. You are a Miami girl. Martell, the furthest he's ever taken you is to Florida. That's all you got was a trip to Florida and a Happy Meal every now and there. And the best, in addition to that, from what I could see, the best you've also received was that sweet ass drink that he bought you. Y'all remember at that, I forgot the name of that restaurant where they serve those big old sweet drinks. Yeah, she was happy to get that. She mentioned that she tried to get another guy. That didn't last long. I guess the guy took her out of town for her birthday. Ariane, that's called a jump off. You're a jump off. He took you out of town, had sex with you, and brought your ass back and left. And that's the category that you have been placed in based on your own actions, your own behavior on the internet. You are now a jump off. Sorry to tell you, but somebody had to. And then this makes me think, I was like, damn, what happened with her and Nay? For Nay to turn on her like that. What happened between the two of them? Has anybody else wondered? That somebody can get years and years of recordings on you and say, you know what, I'm going to release it. Why? Now, hey, I can have content from it, but I'm wondering what happened between the two of y'all. Damn. In the audio recording, she said, oh, for him to be with me and go home with his wife, that's the norm. She was happy to be included. And in some sick and twisted way, I really feel like at some point this girl felt like she was a part of the family. Y'all, this ain't crazy, I swear. I don't know what else is. And she said, he just couldn't leave me alone. Girl, if you don't get your behind up and carry your ass to the quickest altar. Did you hear the part where she said Knox is just like his daddy, needy, wants all of her damn attention all the time? And she left out violent because he is like his father. He's needy based on her, and he's violent. Because did he not hit Sugar Mama a couple of times? Did he not take her sucker? Did he not bust Sugar Mama's lip? Yeah, needy and violent. The sick part of it all. This child's name is not Maverick, right? She said that he wanted her to change that child's name to Maverick so that so that he could wedge this child as a part of his family, of his legitimate kids. Y'all, this is sick from both sides. Fantasizing of how he can make Knox an Eminem kid. Like, Martell is calling that child Maverick when that's not even his name. I need y'all to sit in that. He wanted that to be his name. That is not his name. His name is Knox. And when she got mad, she went public to release the text messages of the back and forth between her and Martell to say, and no, I am not changing his name. Well, you know what? You shouldn't, because that is not his God-given name. But since he's here, let me coach you up and give you some grown woman-ass wisdom. The best thing you can do for that child is to leave him by the name that he was born with, which is Knox. You gonna mess that child up if you continue to allow Martell to call him Maverick. Girl, that is a curse that Martell's speaking over that little boy's life. It's bad enough that this child was produced and made and conceived in turmoil, rage, jealousy, envy, strife, division. You see what I'm saying? And then you're going to call him Maverick? If you're not careful, this child is going to grow up with not having a sense of self. Y'all call him Knox. You call him Maverick. You call him Holt. The best thing you can do, all bullshit aside, is to stand firm that his name remains as Knox. That's the best you can do out of this entire situation, which is a very effed up situation. Okay? She shared that Martell would F her anytime if she wanted to. I need y'all to pause on that. If I could call him right now and we could F. I told you. Jump off. And that's about all you get, Ladybug. She was mad that he slept with her and that he tends to use her body as a plug and play. But you said you liked it because it was freaky. You are a plug and play. What's the problem? And then she gets mad when he leaves to pursue higher ground with other women that are more articulate, more successful, more sophisticated, clean. Ariane likes to punish other women. She wanted to punish Melody. She released the detailed accounts of her bedroom business when she saw him with Sheree in New York. This woman, in my opinion, is crazy. And if Ariane doesn't stop, she's going to end up in prison if she keeps up this behavior. This is the same girl that released the Revenge P tape to Tasha K so that she can destroy Melody. And yes, Tasha K took it down, but this is the same bitch, Ariane, that hit send. She sent it to Tasha K. She offered to send it to the blogger, Original Straight No Chaser, if she hadn't already, because we don't know if she actually followed through or not. And she also shared that she showed it to her family. Then she went on to talk about the failed attempt. Ooh, she said, Martell needs me because he couldn't convince them to bring me on the show. Honey, that's a failed attempt when y'all tried to swindle the network out of that $1 million. You don't remember from OWN? Yeah, I told y'all that was a fact. And the network slammed the damn door in both of their faces. So she said, he couldn't convince them to film with me, so now he has to keep me around. I told y'all, Ariane is a complete stalker. Ariane is batshit crazy. Martell is stuck with her because in her head, oh no, you owe me. You owe me, brother. So now she's holding him hostage. Emotionally hostage. I wouldn't be surprised if Martell's actually scared of Ariane. But guess what? That's what they both get. So I could care less. I think one of the things that that really blew me away, I heard her talk. She's talking about, I released everything. This going to make Sheree look real bad. I released all of his text messages and then I changed my number so he couldn't reach me. So then I released the emails. And you know those housewives are watching. You know Sheree looked real bad. And then she said she claimed that she gave them a storyline on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And she gave them something to talk about. Girl, stop. Now, come on. Really? I really need you to stop talking. This lady was excited about being featured on the Shade Room and the Neighborhood Talk. She was so enthusiastic about the possibility of a housewife seeing her blasting Martell, y'all. If this ain't low vibrational, I don't know what is. Opposed to assessing her own behavior and being concerned of how this would make her look as a woman and as a parent, she didn't think about none of that. All she cared about was this was going to make Sheree look bad, and this was going to destroy any opportunity of Martell moving on from her. Because she said, just because you're cleaning up your brand don't mean you get to throw me under the bus. Y'all, that means you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. Yeah, Martell met his crazy ass match. And you know the best thing I think that came out of this, which is crazy, God works in mysterious ways. Not even crazy, which is beautiful. Because as crazy as this girl is, and as demonic and corrupt as her spirit is, you see how God pulled Paris, her daughter, out of all of this, because children are innocent. But do you see how God pulled Paris out of all of this? And you remember many, many months ago, she said that she attended Paris's baptism. And in that moment, I said, that's beautiful. She said, I didn't even tell her about that. No, you didn't. But God has a way. They say God looks out for children and fools. She said her daughter came to her and said that she wanted to be baptized. And I thought, you know what? This child knows right from wrong. This child knows that all of this infidelity, sex talk, all of that stuff that she's talked about in front of her kids, because while she was being recorded on audio with the real original Straight No Chaser, you could hear Knox in the background. Be not deceived, honey. Evil company corrupts good morals. So even though Knox is not of an age to process all of this, is still getting down into his spirit. Yes, be not deceived. So imagine Paris hearing all of this for years and years and years. Martell coming, trying to hit down and beat down the door, and the sex and all of that would be going on in the back room. Yeah, all of that became disruptive to that child's spirit. And God said, nope, not today, not on my watch. And to me, I am so happy that somebody, I don't know who it is, whether it's a schoolmate, her stepmom, that somebody introduced this little girl to a different way of life. And that little girl was able to latch on to it and say, I want to be baptized. Because she knew there was the other side of life other than what her trifling ass mama was showing her. I love it for Paris. And if Paris's father has not taken full custody, it's very seldom that I would say this. I hope he does. Because I think Paris would be better served in a very healthy, cohesive family rather than being around her own mom. Yeah. Ariane is upset with Martell's attempts to rebrand himself and feels like he's leaving her behind. And as a result, she's going to sabotage his efforts. Like I said, it's a brand new day. It's a damn brand new day when Martell Holt actually looks like the good guy. Because this man is attempting to move on other than sexually every now and then. Because, honey, if you give it to him, he'll take it, like most men. But this man is attempting to move on and you try to sabotage him at every turn. Okay? Ariane, you're not going to have to worry about that too much longer, about him trying to rebrand himself. I promise you, give it some time. Give it some time. Because when y'all go to jail behind this revenge P, you'll both get to rebrand yourselves. You'll both get what you're looking for. A rebranding by way of that jail cell and that number that they're going to place on the back of your damn uniform. So open your eyes for this one. Because it's coming, honey. It's coming real soon.